God. For we know that the whole creation groans in labors. What is that? It's groaning in labor. That's why you see, friend, you go stand by a window and watch the light as it comes through a window. Right? Just sort of stand on the side. What do you see? You see particles floating in the air, correct? When you look at the sunbeam, what do you think that is? You say, oh, it's just dust, man. That's not no dust. In the eyes of humanity, it's dust. But what is that? That's this right here. That's this groaning and labors and birth pains. See, what? Yes, friend, that's death. That's death. Creation is dying. Those particles come from something that's dying and decaying. What you see when you look at that sunbeam is particles of death all around you. Some of that's coming off of your body, your skin. It's dying, friends. Do you understand when you get to heaven and you look at sun like that, you're not going to see particles floating around? So why not? Because the particles is death, friends. It's stuff dying. And you and I are breathing in death all day long. You think you're going to get healthy by eating death? Do you understand the fruit and the vegetables and everything else that you eat? That they're dying when they reach their full maturity. Once they get to the full maturity, what happens after that? Do they stop? No, friend. They get what we call overripe and starts decaying instantly. Can you stop it? No, you can't stop it. Why not? Because all of creation is growing, groans, and labor pains. It's dying, friends. Together until now. Not only that, we ourselves, believers, also have what? First fruits. What is that? Life. From death to life, the first fruits. What? Of the Spirit. That life came from the Spirit. Remember the seed right here, what I showed you. The difference between the two. Right here. You have the first fruit. You went from Jacob to Israel. You went from Satan to God. And listen, it's not because you prayed some prayer. It's not because somebody put their hand on you or put some sign of the cross or you doing it. Friends, that's craziness. None of that can change the seed. And it's the seed that produces the fruit. You don't produce fruit, friends. The seed produces the fruit. Now come back and listen to what God said. We have what? You have the first fruits. Where did it come from? The first fruits came from the seed. Who's the seed? The seed is Christ. Friends, unless a seed falls into the ground and die, it remains alone. Christ is saying, hey, if I don't die, me, the seed, if I don't die, I'm going to be by myself. But if it dies, and he did, it will spring forth and bring life first, the resurrection, and multiply, you and I, the fruit. So what do we have? We have the first fruit. What is that? That's your believers. And that's the first thing, your spirit rising from the dead. And where does that come from? Did it come from you? Did it come from me? No, it came from the Holy Spirit. The exact same thing that I showed you here. Here, the Holy Spirit. The seed isn't yours, friends. Seed comes from the Creator, the same origin. This seed comes from the Creator, the same origin. Who? The Holy Spirit. In Genesis 1, the Spirit moved on the face of the deep. In Titus, the washing and regeneration of the Spirit. So who's doing it? The seed is. The seed is Christ. The Spirit of Christ. So you see that? You see what's going on? So what? You got a new spirit. That's what this first fruit is. It's produced by the Spirit of God. Even we, now that you are alive, now that you have life, these believers, ourselves grown, look, within ourselves. What in the world is that? That's your body. You and I have first fruits. One part of you have been saved thus far. You have three parts: spirit, soul, body. And only one part of you is 100% saved today: your human spirit. And it's sitting and groaning inside of your body. Why? Because of this mess right here. Because of this death. You and I now can see what's going on. Why? Because we have life.